Have you ever burned out on writing music? Gotten writer's block? Felt like an imposter? Like you'll never be able to write music again? Let alone good music? What if I told you all of those feelings came down to just one common trap? Like, so common. Like, I've fallen into it. Like, you've probably fallen into all of us. All of us have fallen into this trap at some point. It's incredibly frustrating, but we might not have had the words to vocalize it. It's so incredibly painful when we mix up process and results. To put it in more musician-friendly terms, we're conflating two distinct things: the process of writing music and the music itself that results from that process. Think about it. We all want to write music, good music, great even. But who exactly is interested in writing music at all if we're not enjoying ourselves in the process? I don't know about you, but I certainly didn't go get a music degree because I didn't enjoy writing music. I did enjoy it, very much so. Tens of thousands of dollars worth of much so. No regrets. When we're talking about process, we're talking about every component that goes into writing the music. Writing, composing, recording, producing, mixing, orchestrating, arranging, all of this is part of it. Everything you do up until sitting down listening to the final product is part of the process. The results part is fairly explanatory. That's the music when it's done. When it's finished. When we are sitting down listening to the finished song, that's the results. We're listening to the end product of our process. Two distinct things. It's our feelings around the end result, the music itself. It's pretty easy to think that everything should serve the end product. The ends justify the means, right? No. Wrong. Utilitarianism does not apply here. Doesn't work. Here's why. Conflating writing process and the music itself nullifies the distinction between art and artist. In writing music terms, it very much detracts from our experience when we're creating the music, when we're writing and making the art. This is like really bad for the artist, really bad for mental health. It's just plain old, just a bad deal. No good. Very bad. Even we ourselves are losing sight of why we even started to do this in the first place. Because it's fun. Writing music is supposed to be fun, not something that you force out, put pressure on, and slave over. This is a crap deal for our mental health, especially in a culture that deifies the starving artist. There's no way you can make good or great music if you don't suffer for some reason. What? This is a misconception that literally any and every professional musician that's currently working, that's going through it, even at the highest level of the industry, all of these people get past this, that we have to suffer for our music. The public, though, like the culture at large, still hasn't quite gotten over it. The whole starving artist bit. If writing or performing music hasn't been fun for quite some time now, ask yourself if maybe it's time to take a break and do something else. Even if just for a short time or if forever, whatever, it's fine. Do you. What we experience as writer's block, burnout, the desire to just stop, is the direct result of not caring for ourselves. The artist, the writer, the one who labors to make the music a reality. And it's insidious. This process happens slowly over time. It seeps in. It's not just like all of a sudden, this isn't fun anymore, I'm done. If it was like that, then this would be a much easier situation. We have our whole identity wrapped up in ourselves as a musician. At least many of us do. And that's tricky. Also, there's this weirdly good feeling into playing into that suffer for your art cliche. You're like, yeah, if I'm suffering, this has got to be good, right? No, it's not like that. You don't have one and automatically get the other. I guarantee you, there are plenty of suffering artists that are not good, that don't make good art. They don't advance in their career because they're not focusing on their craft. They're not looking at the real problems and trying to solve them. Playing into this whole suffering for your art thing, it's 100% masochistic, and we've all been there. It's fine. We all have to face it at some point. But it's not only that. It's not just this suffer for your art, starving artist cliche. There's also hustle culture to deal with, where even if we're just a hobby producer or a hobby music writer or whatever, or composer, we're feeling that pressure still to show results. Even if it's just something we want to do for fun. We're not even looking to make money with it in some ways, but we still want to get that fan base and want to build that audience. It's weird. It's weird, man. Because it happens so slowly, it's elusive. It's hard to see it building up over time until it's just completely overwhelming. It's the aggregation of a series of actions routinely devaluing yourself as a person in the hopes of being an artist. Guess what? You already are an artist. You don't have to mess with yourself, cause harm to yourself to be an artist. Consciously or not, we all do this to some extent. It's weird. It's weird. Look inside. Check it out. It's happened. If not, at me. Come at me. You're the exception to the rule. Tell me your secrets. You should be here doing this. So how do we stop conflating process and results? How do we get over this hump? I said that all of these professional musicians and composers and artists, they get over this. So how do we do that? How can we fight back against culture, against time, the aggregation of all of these actions, and just the wheezed bit of masochism? First, you need to get back in touch with who you are as an artist and why you write music in the first place. We're trying to build from the bottom up, start from the fundamentals, from the basics, create a strong foundation for ourselves. Next, you need to rebuild your music practice from the ground up, with the why of why you write music being the highest priority. Now, I just made that sound pretty easy, but that's harder than it seems. Because after that, what we need to do is we need to ground ourselves in objective reality. Most of us feed ourselves a narrative about us or our music that causes straight up pain, like a lot of pain. Like it could be a violent narrative. It is for me. It's messed up, man. Now, this can be motivating, right? The struggling artist bit, starving artist bit, it can be motivating. That's a double-edged sword. It comes at a cost. Now, the funny thing is that narrative is likely false. 99% of the time, it's not true. So we dismantle it. We get rid of it. And how do we do that? With cold, hard facts. That's how. With objective truths about you, about your music, about where you are in your musical journey, that type of stuff. You know? Context. We have to bring back context. This is so important so that we're able to look at ourselves with the appropriate perspective and compassion for us and our projects and our music. Finally, we have to erect structures in our lives that reinforce our rebuild music or writing practice. This is where you even go outside of music, right? We're not even talking about creating art now or writing music or anything like that. We're talking about keeping ourselves healthy, eating well, exercising. This stuff is the mental component. This, the mind and the brain, it's one thing. It's all connected. Mental health is physical health and vice versa. We got to take care of both. If we want to be a whole expressive musical powerhouse, we need to take care of our instrument. We need to take care of the thing where the music comes from. The greatest thing about this is that a lot of this stuff are positive feedback loops. You do it, it feels good, so you keep doing it. And it's great. It's good for you and it feels good. And I'm doing double hand motions because that's how important this is. This is the key to making sure that we don't fall back into our negative thought cycles, our negative patterns, our negative feedback loops, so that we can keep writing for as long as we want to and be happy about it. Be happy about ourselves. Feel good about ourselves. We can do that. So whenever you feel like you can't write music and that feeling is sticking around, ask yourself, are you starting to conflate your writing process and the results, the music itself? We have to be the watchers on the wall. Make sure that we keep it up. We have to make sure that we still like writing music in the first place. Hone in on that first and foremost. Finally, we laid out what we need to do in order to reconnect with ourselves as an artist and as a musician, to rebuild our writing and our music practice, and to create structures to reinforce that practice and protect ourselves and our health, mental and physical. That last part is straight up hard, and it's not a straight line either. It comes and goes in waves. Sometimes it feels easy, sometimes it's not so easy, and sometimes you fall off the wagon. But the important thing, just like with music, is coming back to it, is consistency and getting back up. So I want to help. I put together a coaching package called Musical Wellness, where we dive deep into you as an artist, a musician, and rehabilitate your connection to your music. I'd say more, but I literally just outlined the whole coaching package in this last part of the video. So if you're just not having fun anymore when writing, you're just not finishing any music, but you want to, come and book yourself a 30-minute discovery call where you'll talk directly with me, one-on-one, just you and me, to make sure that musical wellness is a good fit for you and to make sure you know exactly what we're going to get up to. Head to justwritemusic.com/learn. There's a link down in the doobly-doo. Thanks so much for watching and for hanging out with me today. I'm Abhi, and don't forget to be awesome.